Good morning, class. Okay, we're going to talk about trapezoid today. It's in lesson 16, grade 5, mission 5. And I need to see just a little bit more better, all right? Okay, you're going to use a quadrilateral hierarchy concept exploration on this paper, and this is irregular quadrilateral, and then inside is a trapezoid. So trapezoid is quadrilateral because it has four sides. Why is trapezoid also? It has only one pair. To be trapezoid, you only should have one pair of parallel sides. That's why trapezoid is not a parallelogram, because to be parallelogram, you have to have two pairs of parallel sides. Trapezoid has only one pair. So if I highlight this line segment, okay, and I use my ruler to show parallelity of lines, you can slide down and you will see that it exactly matches with the bottom line, which is another parallel side. So this is parallel. This line segment is a parallel to the other line segment. So these two are a pair of parallel sides. So you can see that this one is parallel. They're never gonna meet. They go forever in the same direction on both sides, but never gonna meet. If I take like two rulers, you can see they all there. So the other two sides are not parallel, and we can use my pink ruler. If I extend these sides they will get trapped. So if this is my, I'm trying to find my large ruler. So if I extend this line segment, I take my pink, right? Oh, sorry, and you can see I can extend this one and also this here, and they will get trapped. And that's what trapezoid, I believe, get a name for it, because if the lines are not parallel, eventually they will get cross intersect. Okay, or I call it trapped. They're going to get trapped right here in this point. Yeah. All right. So this is called irregular trapezoid. Why is irregular? Is because these two non-parallel sides are not congruent or the same. Okay. So we can check that. So this is about 7.5 centimeters. And then if I look other side, it's about 8.3 centimeters, 8 whole centimeters and 3 more millimeters. So this is called irregular trapezoid. So also I would like you to have names. So you could have irregular trapezoid. You can have isosceles. I did not switch this. Sorry, let me stay in a call. All right. I think I needed to do something to okay. Let's see if this works now. Yes. All right. I just realized that the letters are not reflected correctly. Irregular trapezoid. Then we have isosceles, and then we have a isosceles trapezoid will have these two line segment congruent. And then we also have a right trapezoid, which has two right angles. So if I imagine that instead of having this side right there, I will write down straight line, and I will have one here and one here, straight right angle. So this will be, again, if I take this off, this will still be a trapezoid because it has this, and then these two lines will get trapped, or they will get intersect. So those are three kinds of trapezoids. But we also should talk that to be trapezoid, you have to have at least one pair of parallel sides. So when we talk about that, we also say, oh, but square has at least one pair of parallel sides. So in a subgroup, trapezoid spells square is also trapezoid, as well as rectangle. So there rectangle has at least one pair of parallel sides. So rectangle is trapezoid, and also that the rhombus has at least one pair of parallel sides, and it also rhombus can be subgroup of trapezoid. All right, I hope that makes sense. And now we're going to move to the exit ticket. Today, I'm going to take this red color. There we go. This is, I'm going to make it bigger. All right. It's Miss.Zzz. And today is 04/26 and 25. Okay, it's a grade 5, mission 5, lesson 16, exit ticket. Use ruler and set square to draw a trapezoid. Okay, I'm going to use a ruler, but I'm going to use also a protractor. Oh. And I will create for you two different kinds for now. One, it could be, let's do the all three first. Okay, I will take, so to be irregular, you just needed to have two pairs of parallel lines. So if this is a parallel line, I'm going to do the next down a little bit longer, and the sides, if I connect these two and these two, the angles will not be the same. You will not have these two angles same, or these two, but, and also this size is not as congruent to this side. So this is irregular trapezoid. Trapezoid, irregular. This is 2R. Sorry, guys. R. All right. Next, it still has irregular, has a two obtuse angles, and then two acute angles. Oh, this one, okay, and this is acute, smaller than 90 degrees, and obtuse are greater than 90 degrees. So just to say that this is high. All right, irregular trapezoid. Now I'm going to create the one that's called isosceles. isosceles trapezoid has um, one pair of parallel sides and has the non-parallel sides that are congruent or the same. So I'm going to draw one line segment. Let's see, have here. All right. Okay. Make it 5 centimeters about. Okay. And then I'm going to create from here 2 congruent angles. And let's see if that could be, let's make 60 degrees. All right. So if I put my center of the circle right here, the angles lives in the circle. So here's the 0, 10, 20, 50, 60 should be right here. All right. So I'm going to create that way, but I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do other side. There you go. Because that doesn't make sense. It has to be the other side because I want my 60 degrees be from this side to there. Just in case you need it to. I'm going to use my color pencil, so in case I need to erase some, I can do that, right? Now I'm going to do opposite side, and I am going to measure 60 degrees. Now my angle 60 going to go from here all the way to there, all right? My dot is on. Here is 0, and here is 60. I'll go all the way to here, and that will give me another line. All right. All I need now is to choose congruent how big my sides I want. So I'm going to have 3 centimeters. So, or maybe 2.5. Let's do 2.5. So this is going to be a 2.5 centimeters. And other side gonna be a 2.5 centimeters. All right. So now when I have both sides congruent, I'm going to connect parallel line. The bottom is the one, and the top is going to be the next. Let me see, make sure everything's perfect. Ready? Parallel lines. And that is second pair. This is their second pair. And I created isosceles trapezoid. And I can erase the rest. So let's see. If I want to label this, I can easily do this. I can measure. This is 5 centimeters. And I know I had this 2.5 centimeters. This side is 2.5 centimeters. So these two are congruent sides. And then my top base, we call base, this is about 2.6 or something like that. 2.6 centimeters, right? So how we write isosceles trapezoid is like this. Isosceles trapezoid. Okay. It has now 2 acute congruent angles on this base. This is one base, and base is this line, and also the other base is the top line. So as well, these 2 angles are congruent, and they're called obtuse. So how we label angles are little arrows on both sides, and then this one is right. If you know one measure, it's easy now to figure it out how many each of these angles are without. If I just know was my 60 degrees, then this one is 60, so 120. So then this too has to share everything that is up to 360 degrees, because the whole four angles in every quadrilateral has to add up to 360 degrees. If quickly do that, I can show. I know it's not the topic, but it's okay. 360 minus 120, that will give us 240. So now these two pink will share 240. So logically you will say, hey, each of these has to be 120. So we just figured it out. These two is 120 degrees, 120, because all four together is 360 degrees. Okay, this was called isosceles trapezoid, irregular trapezoid, and now we're going to talk about a right trapezoid. Right trapezoid has a right angle. So that's if I take this to be a line segment, and I start right here, I'm going to create with my ruler right angle, and this little triangular ruler is exactly what I need. So here is the right angle, and then I need another one to be on the top. So I'm going to use my little triangle, and here is another right angle. So I do have here two right angles, and now all I need is the one of the sides. Depending on how I want to be like this, and this is my right trapezoid. Right trapezoid. Right trapezoid, and it has one acute angle, one obtuse angle, and two right angles, These three kinds of trapezoid you need to be familiar with. All these trapezoids, they have one pair of parallel sides. So if you look back, here is parallel pair. There, this one is parallel to this. Okay, and then this one is parallel to this. You can use my ruler to check. Here, parallel, slide. Okay, these parallel, slide. Right there. So, and also why? Because if you extend line segments that are not, then they will get eventually intersect or trapped. All right. So that's like trapped right here in this point. They will intersect right here in this point. And if I do this, then that will get trapped right there in this point. So they're not parallel. If I take this one, and that will get intersect in this point. When you look and extend parallel lines, the parallel lines never gonna meet. So this line extend, never gonna meet this bottom line, and that's what they are parallel. Or this one is never gonna meet the bottom one, or this top never gonna meet. And these are your three, all right, I need them smelled, three kinds of a trapezoids. But then we're not done. There is another question that we need to answer. It says, what attributes must be present for quadrilateral to also be a trapezoid? So I talked that before. To be trapezoid, you have to have at least one set or pair of opposite sides parallel. That's why quadrilateral, such as square, rhombus, and rectangle, are also be called trapezoids, because all these shapes, they have at least one pair of parallel sides. All right, guys, this was the exit ticket mission 5, and I hope you like it. And it's lesson 16. This was Mrs.Z. I love you. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.